Last month I canceled $400 worth of research subscriptions. Databases I had used for years. Services I thought were essential. And I replaced all of them with a single $20 tool that, honestly, I did not expect to work this well. The research task that used to take me 6 hours now takes 45 minutes. Not because I am cutting corners, but because the entire process of finding, reading, and synthesizing information has fundamentally changed. And there is a reason why Perplexity AI just abandoned its entire advertising business model that tells you everything you need to know about where this is heading. Welcome back to Zero Index. Here is what most people still believe about serious research. They believe you need expensive specialized databases. They believe AI tools are good for quick answers but not deep work. They believe that real professionals use real professional tools, and everything else is just for casual users who do not know any better. Every single one of those beliefs is now wrong. I want to be precise about this because the numbers matter. Perplexity Pro costs $20 per month. Or $200 per year if you pay annually, which is a 17% savings. Compare that to the stack most knowledge workers were paying for, $300, $400, sometimes $500 monthly across multiple research platforms, citation databases, and AI subscriptions. But here is what makes this different from just another cost-cutting story. This is not about getting a cheaper version of the same thing. This is about getting something that works in a fundamentally different way. When I run a query through Perplexity's deep research mode, it spends 2 to 5 minutes actively reading through dozens of sources. Not just pulling snippets. Actually extracting relevant information and synthesizing it into a structured report with inline citations. The kind of report that would take a human researcher 30 to 60 minutes to assemble manually. And I can do this unlimited times per day. There is a third dimension to this that took me weeks to fully understand, and I will come back to it because it changes how you should think about the entire AI tool landscape. So I tested this rigorously. 3 weeks of using Perplexity Pro as my primary research tool across different types of projects. And here is what I found that most people completely miss. A ChatGPT Plus subscription costs $20 per month and gives you access to OpenAI models. A Claude Pro subscription costs $20 per month and gives you access to Anthropic models. Perplexity Pro costs the same $20 and gives you both. Plus Google's Gemini. All wrapped in a search-first interface that actually cites its sources. You can select which model processes your query depending on the task. Need deep reasoning for a complex analysis? Use Claude. Need broad synthesis across multiple domains? Use GPT. Need something that handles recent information well? Switch to Gemini. This is not a gimmick. This is genuinely useful when you understand the different strengths of each model. The Pro tier unlocks Claude Sonnet 4.6, GPT 4.0, Sonar API access, unlimited Pro searches, and the deep research features that justify the subscription. For about 80% of paying users, this is the right tier. It is not about having the absolute best model for every single task. It is about having the right model available when you need it, integrated into a workflow that actually makes sense for research. And this is where it gets strange. Because most AI companies are trying to lock you into their ecosystem. Use only our models. Pay for only our subscription. Stay in only our interface. Perplexity looked at that model and said, no. We are going to be the layer that sits on top of all of them. Now here is the part nobody is talking about. In February 2026, Perplexity completely abandoned its advertising experiment. Not scaled it back. Not paused it. Abandoned it entirely. They chose to rely completely on subscriptions because leadership concluded that ads compromised user trust in a product whose entire value proposition is delivering accurate, unbiased answers. Think about what that decision actually means. They looked at the standard tech business model, the one that built Google, Facebook, and most of the internet, and they said that model is incompatible with what we are trying to do. When you use a search engine with ads, you are not the customer. You are the product. The advertiser is the customer. And that creates an inherent tension between giving you the best answer and giving you the answer that makes money for someone else. Perplexity's bet is that users will pay $20 a month to remove that tension entirely. And the numbers suggest they are right. They self-report approximately $200 million in annual recurring revenue as of early 2026. Up from 63 to 80 million at the end of 2024. That is roughly 4.7 times year-over-year growth. They process approximately 30 million queries daily and reached a $21 billion valuation. I want to be honest, I did not see this coming. I thought the ad-supported model was too entrenched. I thought users would not pay for search when free alternatives exist. But Perplexity is proving something important. When the product is genuinely better, when the incentives are genuinely aligned with the user, people will pay. Now I need to stop here because most people get this completely wrong. Perplexity is not a replacement for everything. It is a replacement for a specific category of tools, research, synthesis, fact-finding, and citation. If you try to use it for things it was not designed for, you will be disappointed. It lacks image generation. If you need to create visuals, you still need Midjourney or DALL or something similar. It lacks code execution. If you are a developer who needs to run and test code within your AI interface, you need something else. And it lacks the conversational depth of general-purpose chatbots for creative writing or heavy coding tasks. This is not a flaw. This is a design choice. Perplexity chose to be exceptional at one thing rather than mediocre at many things. And that focus is exactly why it works so well for research. The most effective researchers I have talked to do not rely on one tool. They use Perplexity to explore and discover. They use Elicit to synthesize academic literature. They use Consensus to validate scientific claims. They use Cite to verify citation contexts. Each tool has a specific job in the workflow. But here is the key insight. For most people, Perplexity handles 80% of what they actually need. The specialized tools handle edge cases. And that 80% used to cost $400 a month across multiple subscriptions. Remember that third dimension I mentioned earlier? The one that took me weeks to understand? It is this. The real value of Perplexity is not just the money you save. It is the attention you recover. When research takes 6 hours, you avoid doing it. You make decisions based on incomplete information. You guess when you should know. You settle for good enough when excellent was possible if only you had the time. When research takes 45 minutes, everything changes. You actually do the research. You make better decisions. You catch errors before they become expensive. You find opportunities that were invisible when you did not have time to look. If you are doing research more than once a day, Pro pays for itself in the first hour of use. Not the first month. The first hour. Because the question is not whether $20 is worth it. The question is whether 6 hours of your time is worth more than 45 minutes of your time. For a student writing research papers, this is the difference between citing 5 sources and citing 25 sources. For an analyst preparing reports, this is the difference between surface-level insights and genuine depth. For a content creator verifying facts, this is the difference between hoping you got it right and knowing you got it right. The ability to verify sources instantly, switch between reasoning models, and analyze uploaded documents, these are not features. They are hours of your life given back to you every single week. So here is what this actually means for you. The research subscription model that has existed for decades, expensive databases, institutional access, paywalled information, that model is being disrupted in real time. Not by making the old thing slightly cheaper. By making a new thing that works differently and better. If you are still paying hundreds of dollars monthly for research tools, you need to seriously audit what you are actually using. Not what you are paying for. What you are actually using. Because the gap between those two things is probably larger than you want to admit. The clear action here is this. Sign up for Perplexity Pro for 1 month. $20. Use it as your primary research tool for everything you would normally do. Track how much time you spend on research tasks. Then compare it to what you were doing before. I am not saying cancel everything else immediately. I am saying run the experiment. Let the data tell you what to do next. Because here is the question I keep coming back to, and I genuinely do not know the answer. If AI tools can compress 6 hours of research into 45 minutes, if they can give individual users capabilities that used to require institutional subscriptions, what happens to all the industries built around the assumption that research is slow, expensive, and hard? That is not a hypothetical question anymore. That is what we are watching unfold right now. If you want more analysis like this, consider subscribing.